Hi friends, good evening. Today we are going to discuss about the pharmaceutical GMP. So I want to understand from you and to guide you on this topic so that you should aware specifically those are the freshers or those are interested to join in the pharmaceutical industry or those are experienced also they can attend this session. So how we can say that this is the pharmaceutical GMP session because we are going to discuss here good manufacturing practices, good documentation practices, as well as the good GDP practices. So the objective and documentation concept for its importance, we will see that scope of the good documentation practices, types of documents, types of practices, and good documentation practices in completing with the documents, roles and responsibilities as well. Good documentation practices for the document management, commonly encountered documentation errors, or recap through the posters we want to understand here. So objective of this training is to understand why documentation is required in the pharmaceutical industry, because documents plays a major role in the pharmaceutical industry and it is a lifetime important for the whole process. So to understand the types of documents, which type of documents is there, to learn the characteristic of good documentation practices, to understand good documentation practices, GDP practices, implementation of all these things. So we would like to understand these things and to guide you on this further. So data, we will understood about the data. What is mean by data? Data is means of all original records, certified and true copies of the original records, like your standard operating procedure, batch manufacturing record, batch packing records, transformation data, reports. All these are called as a data, which are recorded at the time of GXP activity. Means data is that when you are going to understand your documents, when you are recording any data in the manufacturing practices, okay, and you are reporting that data into the batch manufacturing record. When the processes are going on, during this period you should record your data, actual data, and contact in this context. So a document is a information and meaningful data. It's supporting medium, which could be a paper form, that is CD form, means computerized data which are collected inside the electronic media, some of the manual documentation as well. So there are two types of data: manual documentation, those are recorded by the hand, and there are electronic data which is recorded inside our system or saved in the system. So it is called as the electronic data. So these both data are useful in the lifetime in the pharmaceutical industry. So documents provides the information and evidence for the future. Whenever we are recording all these activities, we are understood, and this data is required in the near future. So record is meaning for the recorded information which is used for the future purpose, that is called the data. Okay, so later on, if we say that the next stage good documentation part is essential in the pharmaceutical industry, such as it should be exist aspect of GMP, clearly written documents. Clearly written documents means it is useful in your future. Whatever you have performed the task, it is required to understand in the future. Guys, if you are online, please stay connected, and you can connect your friends as well. It is a very important session, good manufacturing session, which is I am taking for you as a freely. And why it is taking? Because you should understand what is the pharmaceutical requirement, how we can enter into the pharmaceutical industry, because there are many strict procedure or many interview procedure those generally freshers are facing. So I am conducting these sessions mostly those people who want to survive in the pharmaceutical industry for a longer period. This session is useful for the trained people as well, as because I am guiding, teaching all the senior members. If you are liking my session, if you are feeling that it is useful for you, you can give a thumbnail as well. Okay, so it ensures the availability of the data needed for validation, Means when suppose validation is going on, validation means we are manufacturing the practices, and during this we are verifying all the process parameters and all these things, review in the statistical sequence. This guidance provides procedure for the documentation and overview for various types of entries done in the all quality and GMP related documents. So basically all GMP documents means, what is the GMP documents? Batch manufacturing record, batch packing record, those activity we are performing in the manufacturing area, and all the activities are recorded, it is called the records. Means the activity may be different types like batch packing, batch manufacturing, analytical activity, your engineering activity, all these activities are called the records, and it is recorded for the future study. So it is considered as a records. There are the guidelines as well. Guidelines means recommended practices like WHO guideline, US FDA guideline, all these guidelines are there. Policy is a plan adopted course for the principle of action intended and influence to determine the decision or actions of an organization. So basically raw data, data which is collected and recorded in the form of worksheet. How data is? Data is recorded in the form of worksheet. Record, report, formats are called as a data. Printout, okay, all or electronic data, it is all the types of data. So activities are recorded from the automated system is called as a raw data. Those are the means your weighing balance printout or the raw data, it is called as a raw data. Good documentation practices means, good documentation practices for those are collectively and individually mentioned in the records. This is called as a good documentation practices. Means whatever activity you are performing in the shop floor manufacturing area, you should record all the activities inside the documents, and this document will be useful in the future and for our reference purpose or for review purpose, or whenever we have got any studies or any market complaint, that time this data is required. Data should be legible, traceable, permanent, and contemporaneously recorded, original and accurate. Data is always accurate. Data should be legible, means someone can read it, someone can traceable it. If someone is writing and other person is not identifying, so it is not traceable or accurate data. So electronic data should be like that, legible, someone can should read, someone can should, permanent data should be permanent, like that pencil writing is not allowed. So data should be permanent. Contemporaneously means whatever the activity you did now, it should be written on the same time. If you are doing the activity now and recording later, it is called as a data integrity, because we are not understanding why some of the times data integrity is happening. Many times we are doing the activity but not writing on the same time. We are writing on post dated or back dated, that is called the data integrity. Data integrity is a very important concept in the pharmaceutical industry. You should follow all these practices. Means whatever you did, you should record at the same time. If you are not recording activity at the same time, it means you are doing the data integrity. No post dated activity, no back dated activity is allowed in the pharmaceutical industry. So follow the standard formats, use clear and precise your ambiguous language, short sentences. Languages and sentences should not be confusing. Provide wherever required illustrations and give appropriate references. Provide sufficient space to make the legible entries. So review prepared document errors means whatever the errors you are identifying, you should review, you should record, you should highlight. If there any errors, you should correct it on the same time. If that error is not corrected on the same time and this error goes for a longer period, and if that error is caught by the auditor, that time you will face a major challenge. Document should be approved, signed, date with the approved, with the authorized person. Means someone should authorize the document. No unauthorized document is allowed in the manufacturing area. Means the document should be authorized and approved, that you have to follow. Clearly written instruction in the document should follow. Your SOP should be clear. Whatever you are doing, that actions, steps, it is to be mentioned in the that particular document or in the operating SOP. Good documentation ensures that the existing of documents evidence traceability and provides the records that allow investigation. It is important to manufacture get the documentation right in order. Means whatever you are doing, it should be in the right order. If you have performed the task, you should record it. If activity is performed and not recorded, it means the activity is not followed. Okay, so if you understood the task, you should understood and record in the documents. And do it right first time. Right first time means whatever you are doing, do correctly, follow the sequence. If you are not doing the correct sequence and not writing at first time, it means later we will not be understood, we will not keep in mind, and so our document may go wrong. Do right first time, and we don't always get a second chance. Do right first time every time. If it is the written down, then it didn't happen. Commitment documents, there are multiple types of documents like commitment document, directive document, data collection documents, like describes company's policy or regulatory compliance, site master file, company quality policy, data integrity policy, quality manual, validation master plan, GMP training plans. These all documents called as a commitment document. Then directive document, what is mean by directive document? Like your standard operating procedure, standard testing procedures, specifications, master formula, GMP training modules, analytical methods, records, raw material specification. It is called as a directive document. Directive document, the document which gives you the idea or direction towards the process. Data collection documents provide evidence that approve the procedure, means daily records, cleaning record, equipment logbooks, BMRs, raw data, analytical testing, cycle run charts, material inventory records. It is called as a all collection data. A documented evidence shall be there to approve the documented evidence adequacy, and all these approved documents should be there to ensure relevant versions. Completion of documents, good documentation practices, means suppose whatever you are doing, before writing you have to think. If you are writing anything, it should be as per procedure. If you are writing something wrong, it may mislead to the auditor, mislead to the process. So whatever mentioned in the standard operating procedure, you should follow and write first time. Whatever the task on the shop floor you are doing, suppose batch manufacturing activity, batch cleaning activity, shifting process, manufacturing process, compression process, all these activities should be recorded on time. So date format should be correct. You should follow the proper date format, you should follow the time format, and whatever given in your standard operating procedure we have to follow. Sometimes 12-hour format is there, sometimes 24-hour format is there. We have to follow our procedures as per given in the standard operating procedure. Sometimes we have to observe blank formats in the batch document. So if that blank format is not applicable, you have to mention there not applicable. And do not keep any blank document inside the batch manufacturing record, batch packing record, or any GMP record, because blank pages always doubtful for the auditor that you are keeping the provision to write something later. So blank pages is not allowed. If the page is blank, you can mention there not applicable. Record the data directly on the appropriate format or in the notebook. Do not write original data on the paper, hand, or towel or something cheats. So data should be recorded inside the document only. Always take a printout, attach with the main records. Never throw any original data. Do not hide, do not conceal this data. And finally, original information data should not be lost. So remember, information you write will be reviewed, used by another person. He, she should be understood what you have written. Otherwise, it will lead to the wrong or it will lead to the errors. Hence, affixing supporting documentation to a page, special care may be taken. Like that, if it is a sensitive paper, if it has folded or fit to the page, if it has more than a single sheet, use a binder or folder. Do not use staples, paper clips, manufacturing area. Do not use tape or glue that dries out easily. So during documentation, you should take care thoroughly, otherwise your documentation may be incomplete. And if in the pharma documents are incomplete, no one can believe you, and auditor may can catch you immediately, and you will get a serious observation in the manufacturing area by the auditor. So documents is the heart in the pharmaceutical industry. If your document is not correct, if it is not recorded, if it is not properly approved, signed and used by someone, there may be a chances to get a critical deficiency. So wherever you are confident, you write. If you have any doubt, you can ask to your seniors. If you are in the doubt, you can ask to your senior, supervisor, managers. Do not make any wrong entry in the BMR or in the batch document record. If you are making any wrong entry, your document may have error, and again you have to face the challenge into the deviation. So, how to make the mistake corrected? Suppose during writing you have done any mistakes or error, that time you can simply cut down the text, write down their reason why you have cut the text, and correct it. And if you correct it, write down there your signature and date. If you are doing in the correct format, then there should not be any error or finding any situation of the observations. Wrong entry should be corrected with sign and date. Complete paragraph, full page text in a register or to be corrected with a diagonal line. Do not keep any blank page inside the batch record or BPR. Missing entry. If you are observing any entry miss into the document, it should be filled timely and corrected at the same times. So during the document filing, you should be very factual, concise and traceable. Your document should be very concise and traceable. So do not make any falsification. Falsification means, suppose if you have cleaning entry, you have mentioned that cleaning is done but practically not done. It is called as a falsification. Whatever you did, you should be recorded. If you have not done, it should not be recorded. If you doing something wrong, that is called the falsification. So you should be always aware about that falsification of the documents. Then whatever document you are using inside the manufacturing area, it should be signed and approved by the authorized persons. It should be done by check by procedure is there. The department responsible for the activity should sign the designated place, and no other department can sign on behalf. Means there are different department like production department, quality assurance department, quality control department. There are the different departments. So that particular department head should sign the document. Your signature is a legal and ethical responsibility. Whatever activity you are doing, you are signing the activity, means you are responsible for that task. If you have not done, do not sign. If you did, you have to sign it. Signing for someone else is a wrong practices. Suppose if you have not done the activity and you are doing signature for someone, this is the wrong practices. You should be very clear about your roles and responsibilities. Means whatever your job responsibilities, you should be very clear. Whatever written in your job description, that activity you should follow. If something is not written in your job description, you should not do that activity. Like suppose if you are trained in the manufacturing process, and if you are not trained in the packing process, so you should not work in the packing till you are not getting any training certification for that particular activity. Verification of the documents. Whenever you are verified, sign it and keep it for the future study. So documents always covered, checked by, verified by, that practices should be followed by everyone. So document will be clear. So this type of practices is in the pharmaceutical industry, like GDP practices, GMP practices. So this session we have to taken to understand our team and collection. So this is the first day. Every alternate day we will carry this session in the live. So I will guide you so that you can get a maximum knowledge from pharma industry. If someone is not attended today, from tomorrow they can collect this session at sharp 8:30, and we will be here along with your other friends as well as other team members. Thank you.